Hello, everyone. This is Coach Carol. Welcome back to the 10 steps to building AI skills in genealogy. I'm thrilled to help you discover how artificial intelligence can help you reveal and explore ancestral mysteries. AI, in fact, can assist in numerous problem-solving projects. This one suits the keen historian. In step 7, we're going to use our AI tools to solve a mystery, or at least to clear up some of the anomalies in a specific mystery. In this video, I will go through a number of slides with you to demonstrate how you can do this with two tools, Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Perplexity.ai. I will demonstrate how you can create a project in Claude, provide instructions for the project, upload images to the project knowledge base, and use Claude to analyse newspaper clippings. I've got a few to share with you today that I've gathered for a particular mystery that was noted in the newspapers of 1760s and later again in the 1860s. We'll also see how helpful perplexity can be to providing historical knowledge for a specific place or events. So let's dive into this mystery. This is all about the murder of John Leith in 1763, and it's part of the project that I'm working on called the Leith Hall Family Research. On this slide, you'll see the first image is of the project where I have a new project called Leith Hall Family Research. And in the second part of the slide, you'll see I have uploaded to the project some pertinent documents and images that I have already researched. Leith Hall was prominent in the Jacobite uprising. I also have some interesting history of Leith Hall, which is located in Kennethmont, Aberdeenshire, Scotland. My further research from Perplexity is gathered here, and I have even started a document called The Murder of John Leith. Putting all that together really makes it an intriguing and interesting process. Claude will actually help you unpack the history. What I did, first of all, is to request information about the history of Leith Hall in Aberdeenshire. So Claude provided me with a comprehensive overview: when and where it was built, who built it, what it looks like, and how it was important during the Jacobite uprising of 1745. And some personal information about the ancestors John Leith and Mary Hay, and then goes on to talk about the aftermath of the Battle of Culloden in 1746. So we're setting the scene for an interesting story. I gathered together a number of newspaper clippings about the murder of John Leith in 1763. That was an intriguing exercise in digging deeper into what actually happened on that fateful day when he met up with James Abernethy of Mayenne. In the newspaper reports, it says that John Leith was shot in the head by James Abernethy, who subsequently escaped and went abroad. There were some interesting snippets from the newspapers of 1764 and later in 1864. It's the type of mystery, murder mystery, that has intrigued people in Scotland for centuries. With those newspaper clippings, I wanted Claude 3.5 to now summarise them and to start building an outline of the story so that I could see where John Leith fitted in to the whole saga of Leith Hall. So Claude has started to create a story narrative for me, looking at those newspaper clippings and my other documents. And it's written it in narrative format. It's much easier to read. Starts with, in December 1763, a fateful encounter occurred between two prominent Scottish gentlemen, John Leith of Leith Hall and James Abernethy of Mayenne. Apparently, the two men were enjoying a drinking party in Aberdeen when a sudden tavern quarrel began. And then they took that quarrel out into the streets at around 4 o'clock in the morning. During the encounter, Abernethy shot Leith, resulting in Leith's death. When I first read this, I was captivated by the story and wondered why was he shot? What were they arguing about? What was all that history? And I looked further into this observation from Claude about the fact that John Leith's wife, Mrs. Harriet Stewart, Lady Leith Hall, John Leith's widow now, how she brought a criminal indictment forward about James Abernethy, but by then he'd already fled to the continent. Interesting tale is evolving. So to help unravel the mystery of these familial ties, I asked Claude to then create a family tree generational report, John Leith and James Abernethy, with the details that it could see in the documents I'd provided, all gathered online by normal research. The Leith family line began in the early 1600s, and it took us right through from generation 1 through to generation 5, which is not appearing on that part of the slide. And then for the Abernethy family, the generation from similar period, generation 1 in mid-1600s, through to generation 5. James Abernethy was in generation 3 and described as the heir male of the ancient Lord Saltoun, the last Abernethy of Mayenne. John Leith III, which is not appearing here, was also the heir descendant for Leith Hall, and there's more to that story to be unfurled. What I wanted to do next was to find out what else was being said about this murder. So I went across to Perplexity, my favourite tool for investigating historical events, and posed this question in a special project that I have posed in Perplexity for this project. Actually, in Perplexity, they're called spaces, not projects. I asked it to find any further newspaper accounts of the John Leith murder of 1763, and I believed he was shot by James Abernethy on Christmas Day after a brawl at the pub. When Perplexity gave me the answer, it gave me some further details that cleared up some of that anomaly. John Leith III was shot in the head on December 21. And it wasn't until later that he died. He was found bleeding from a head wound in Castlegate by his servants and friends, and transported him back to Leith Hall. Leith lingered for several days and then finally died on Christmas Day in 1763. So that cleared up some of that little mystery. It hasn't explained the exact circumstances of the shooting. It does offer some observations, such as some accounts suggest it may have been an honourable duel, while others indicate it was a murder during a brawl. And it goes on to say that in their reports, quarrel allegedly began over a dispute about the quality of grain from Leith's estate. And where you see these numbered items in circles, these all point to a website where I can go and explore more of the details. That's one of the good things of Perplexity. It gives you a whole heap of new resources to go and look at. Then finally, a little bit more about what happened to Abernethy. He did flee the country, and it seems that he had help from his uncle, Patrick Byers of Tomley. And then Abernethy was later outlawed for failing to appear at his trial in May 1764. So what I'm going to do now is stop sharing the slides and go over to those AI tools and show you the process. Here we are in my project in Claude, which is all about the Leith Hall family research. And you'll see the images of the newspaper clippings that I had uploaded. Let me step back a little bit for you and go to projects. In this paid version of Claude, you can create a project and keep all your conversations about a specific ancestral place in the one place. So all you do is create a project here, give it a name and describe its project goals and subject. So here is my project called the Leith Hall Family Research. And adding content is easy. See some of those that are here already. I simply click on Add Content and I can upload from my device, or I can get it directly from Google Drive. As you see, it lists some of those items that I've already got on Google Drive. And I can click on that and it will upload. I've already done that one, it's in here already. When you're making a request in a new chat, you can also upload other files. And you'll note that it always tells you what project you're in. So I've got two conversations that have happened. Coming back to this one is where I began the conversation. And all I did here was to into the prompt the name of the place. It knew immediately what I wanted it to do because of the instructions that I had given to the project. And it gave me then that rather comprehensive view of Leith Hall itself. When you have a response from Claude in this matter, you can simply copy that and put it into your Google Docs or your Word doc. You can also check what's also in your project by clicking Chat Controls. Here you'll see those pieces of project content and which of the models that this project is using. And we're using 3.5 Sonnet, which is the most intelligent model. Right, coming back to the project itself, If I want to then create another chat about Leith Hall and pose a different question, we'll still be able to look to the content here in its project knowledge. One last thing to note here is what style do you want it to respond in? And you can have concise, explanatory, or formal. This one I've created for myself, which will give a whole different view of narrative. You can do that for yourself by creating and editing a style. Now let's pop over to Perplexity and have a look at what I did over there. Here is that prompt about finding further newspaper accounts. These are the extra links that I was talking about. If you click on here, you'll see them all on the right-hand side. It links to Wikipedia, an item about Leith Hall, another research log about facing our past, which is fascinating, and being able to link Leith family to the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. That makes another interesting story. And another one is about Scottish ghost stories. Apparently at Leith Hall, people have reported seeing the ghost of John Leith, complete with his head bandaged from his wound. There are several other pieces that I could go to and browse even further. So this is an extensive list of resources for the Leith Hall, and goes on and on. I've so much more that I can do here. Perplexity is really the best tool to dig deeper. Just to explain a little more about spaces, let's go to spaces here. I have several, and I usually prepare these in advance so that it tells me what I'm likely to find within them. This is the one that I was looking at, Research for Family Historians. And in the library itself are all the conversations. And the beauty of the library being a separate clickable link is I can search through the threads to find information that I have about Leith. And it shows me then those 3 conversations about Leith Hall. Creating a space is also very easy. This is around here. You create your space, give it a name, a description, tell it what model you want to use. Variably, I use 3.5. Then you give it some custom instructions. And this is where it'll save you a great deal of time to tell the tool exactly what you expect of it, how it should respond to your queries. And I believe that's all you need to know for the time being. When you're in a space and you then want to go on and do another piece of research, you'd simply start a new thread. You want to make sure that it's within that project. Begin with the project. And if you need to attach further documentation or images, use the attachment. All right, so that is one way that I use a combination of the tools to help break down a mystery. Perhaps there's a mystery in your family that you'd like to look deeper into. Coming back to my slides now, I just want to share those last couple with you. What you've learned here today is setting up a project in Claude, uploading data, I didn't actually show you how you prompt Claude to transcribe newspaper clippings, but you saw the result of it. And you did see how to synthesize and analyze. Also learned how to set up a space in Perplexity and research specific places. And I hope that you've learned how you can combine the two AI tools to unravel a mystery. Next step, why not practice searching for the history of a place that's relevant to one of your ancestors or family groups using Perplexity? Set up a space and start querying for your information. Perhaps you could find and store some newspaper clippings of an event that's pertinent to your family group. You might already have those from your research at Ancestry.com. If you have, add those clippings into your Claude project and see if you can ask it to first transcribe their content and then give you observations about the story that it's revealing. Share your results in Facebook group if you wish, and then, of course, prepare for tomorrow's lesson on creating your own specialist GPTs.